Welcome to Exploring Your Society. I'm your host, Sean Bowman.
Co-host Phil.
Mikey B.
What up, dog?
Who do we have with us tonight?
Hey, guys, it's Greg Nicholas. How's everyone doing?
Doing well. How about you?
Brother?
I'm well. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here, gentlemen.
For sure.
Yeah, glad to have you on for sure.
Yeah, finally. Yeah. Good seeing you guys again. What we didn't see, what was it, like July, August at Hillview, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Hillview was the last time.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Greg?
Very good, gentlemen. I am fourth generation, both psychic medium. We trace the ability to my great-grandmother. She came over from Italy in 1919, settled in Oil City, PA, and the ability went through the family. Now, it does end with me. My wife and I do not have children, and most of the family is gone. But I am both the psychic, which is, to me, use of cards and tools for future guidelines, things like that. Mediumship, which is connecting from spirit. If someone's gone, if they want to, we let them. I also do quite a bit of paranormal investigation, ghost hunting, things like that, such as yourselves. This is my career. I started things at age 4. And it's what I do now, traveling all over the country.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, man.
Now you say you have a family tie, fourth generation.
Yeah.
What was your first experience where you felt like, you have that ability? Because I'm sure your family, you may have heard them talking about it before as well.
Well, I was 4.
Yeah.
At a funeral where I had my first experience, and then come to find out, 2, they were waiting for me to develop it, so to speak. I was born with the veil, which is, the legend of everything. You have the extra membrane over. You have with the veil, you're supposedly gifted. And I was born on St. Patrick's Day. So the first experience was at a funeral. It just grew from there. I kept it quiet, of course, for many years. For years and years, my job was human resources. I was employment law. And doing this, it helped me navigate through the various problems and things like that going forward. And then about 20 years ago-ish, I started doing it full-time. It's my career all over the place.
That's awesome.
That's great, man.
Yeah, but I am a big believer, and gentlemen, you may or may not know this, in the use of a lot of protection going forward. We all know, guys, dark exists, evil exists, things like that out there as well. So we have to protect ourselves so as not to bring it in. Sometimes I do get criticized for protecting too much. Yeah,
I'm a
remember that.
HR violation. Have you ever used any of your psychic abilities to wow into workplace? I know you did that.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
No, truly, I see auras.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I was investigating, whether it be charges of discrimination, sexual harassment, what have you, I'm doing the investigation. I could see whether or not you were being honest, truthful, or hiding, and I knew how to push. Yeah. But here's the thing. You have to be able to push to get the evidence, the confession, the admission. I can't go on the witness stand and say, oh, their aura turned bright orange and red, and I knew they were lying. It doesn't work that way. No, I did do that too, just as a tool to help me go through it and help, get the admission or whatever to help resolve the case.
Oh, wow. Actually, I have a question. I know it seems like a lot of psychics or mediums always say spirit in the singular form. Why is it spirit and not spirits?
I use both, Sean. That's a good question. Real good question. Messages from spirit. A lot of times when I post where I'm at, you'll see me saying spirit, not spirits. Very rarely, good question. Very rarely is it one spirit that comes through. Usually is spirits. One person told me a while ago to use spirit. Now, this is going to sound crazy. If you use spirits, plural, that kind of resembles or has a negative implication to maybe alcohol and that you're drinking, and the spirits are doing that.
That makes
That's
sense.
the only reason. That's the only reason. But rarely
Yeah,
is
I've
the
noticed
one.
that a lot with a lot of psychics always say that. And I was
Yeah.
wondering like why they say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Messages from spirit, messages from those passed on. Sometimes, honestly, guys, I don't use the phrase loved ones. Sometimes people come through that you weren't exactly fond of.
Oh,
Makes sense.
Heck
That
yeah.
happens in investigations too. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We've all been in places where that does happen. So spirits, sometimes I do use the phrase the other side.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you go on investigations, do you? I'm assuming you typically go in blind without doing any research.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I kind of figured.
Mhm.
How do you, like, when you go into a location? Is it different every time, or is it you kind of get in tune right away, or is it just case to case?
Oh, it's different. Good point. It's different. Like, it's very different too. You go in open. First of all, I protect. I have a very strong religious background, gentlemen. I didn't know if you knew that.
Let's
I'm
actually
a
ask
big
that
believer
question,
in like Archangel Michael, Saint Benedict, very strong patron saint against evil and demons. We all have a very good mutual friend in the public eye who does a lot with Saint Benedict out there too. I go in protecting, and then what do I need to know? Okay, if it's for a group setting, what do I need to know for those present? And then let it happen. Here's the big things, guys: see, hear, feel, smell. All of them. We could be in the same thing. I could see something. Sean, you could feel. Phil, you could smell. Mike, you could just get a gut feeling. Yeah.
Hey.
No,
Yeah.
I'm actually
We're not all
smelling
going
right
to see
now.
the same thing.
My
What's that?
cat did it again. Every
Yeah.
podcast, as soon as we start, the litter box is right behind me, and
Oh, really?
We're gonna take the biggest shit.
yeah, every time.
I go in
time.
just protected. What do I need to know? And
Yeah.
then let it happen. Each case is different, guys. It's not like they're waiting like that, too.
Yeah.
Depending on those who want to come through, the spirit, what have you.
Was
It's
there ever
very
a situation like going into a something like that? You're like, something's not right here, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can tell, at least I can, by gut. And again, 57 years of experience. I'm 61.
Yeah.
Your gut. Oh, no, you can't be here. If someone tries to come through negative, let's face it, this is Halloween season. The theory is, gentlemen, the veil is the thinnest between the two worlds right now. Okay. Even though we do this all year round, sometimes negative things try to come through. In fact, last night, I can give you an example. I was in Youngstown at a house party. Lady came in, sat down, and I said, two men, two husbands. Yeah. I said the one, and I kept doing this like I was being hit. And she started to cry. And I said, this is a gentleman who, from what I'm feeling, was not physically nice to you. She said, yes. I said, do you want him to go? She said, yes. So I told him he is not welcome here, and he had to leave. He was trying to come through to apologize. She didn't want any part of him, and I have to respect that.
Mm-hmm.
So
how do you deal with somebody like something that's negative that somebody doesn't want to hear? Like, how do you?
I always preface, Sean, when I'm doing any reading, that or a gallery. You guys have been to my galleries too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm talking to you and we go down a path you do not want, please let me know. I'm not here to say, oh, you need to hear this. You need to do this. First of all, you may not be able to emotionally. What if it's a new death? Someone who may have died tragically for whatever reason. Or if it's in a group setting, that's your personal business, guys.
Mhm.
I say, okay, let me know. And then I tell spirit, they need to go. I will not press it. Because, some people's emotional state, guys, we have to be careful with.
Yeah, I know. I mean, a lot of people that would go to like a reading and that want everything positive, but it's not always going to come out that way. That's why I was wondering.
Well, and then too, Sean, you have to, and again, all my years, you learn how to finesse it. Meaning, okay, I'm picking up on this, and I feel uncomfortable, like maybe someone was hurt. I did get a lady last week, and I tend to pick up on pain, and my abdomen, lower abdomen, was really sore. And I said, there's an issue with pregnancy. And I said, do you want me to stop and she was tearing up. She said, "Go on." And I said, "Well, I'm getting everything is okay, but like you had no choice." And she said, "You need to stop." And then she did tell me that she was forced to have an abortion when she was 16.
Oh
Oh,
man.
geez.
So, and then I said, "Okay, I'm getting the child is okay." And that's it. We go on. I do not push it, you know.
Yeah.
Everything's different, guys. Everything's different, but I don't push it. And reading any of you, if you say stop, that means stop.
Now, do you ever, in those situations like the one you just described, do you ever not necessarily lie, but kind of maybe fabricate something? Just if you hit a point where they tell you to stop and you like you said, "Oh, the kid's all right." Like, do you ever throw in things like that just to give them a comfort level at all? Or
No,
even if
no.
if the kid wasn't all right, is what I mean. Like, I didn't know if you
Well, and I've done it, Mike.
Yeah.
I've done it.
not saying
Okay.
like lie, but you know what I mean? Like just
No,
just to make
but,
them, like,
change the
comfortable.
words, finesse the words.
Yeah.
Okay. Meaning, well, I do pick up. The child have been some sort of a disability, deformed, what have you, guys. I do say that, but I don't push through it or whatever. You know, and anymore, you have to watch the words that you use so very carefully anymore.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And so, you know, you don't come out and you know, and off camera, guys, you know, we can all kid around and everything, but I try to be very soft in my my presentation. You're dealing with people's emotions, and someone passed on too. I have a group of people, let's just say in Ohio, that I read for. Every one of their children has taken their own life.
Oh,
wow.
Geez.
The first time they had me in, I did not know it. I walked in and it was like the boom. And I kept getting this. Well, that's my sign many times for a suicide. Well, then I knew it. And that was a very long day. It was very rewarding because it was both mothers and fathers that needed to know. You know, and some things did come out about who was hard on them, maybe who said the wrong things to them or whatever. But I try and be as polite, if that's the right word, as possible. You know, yeah, because everyone is different. Everyone is different.
No,
You know?
makes sense.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do sell, so I know the spin to, you know,
yeah.
and I do give a comfort level. Yeah,
Well, you know what? Not good comfort, finesse, whatever, to try and make people there. Let's face it. When they come to see me, they're there for messages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not always entertainment.
hmm
You know, but for messages, comfort, whatever. Are they okay? Oh God, it just depends on so much, guys, what they want. But I really try and keep everyone's feelings into play. Yeah, and you know, they all need closure. Many people closure. Some people should. Am I doing the right thing? A lot of times, surviving spouse. This is a very common one. Should I buy the house? Should I move? Whatever. It's the gut. And I do use a pendulum from time to time. You know, you gentlemen are all familiar with the pendulum. I like the dowsing rods too. It's just when I'm one-on-one, sometimes I'm not able to. But the pendulum, yeah. Money comes into play. Last night it was another one where, hey, just watch what you're doing. You're helping. And I was able to get a name, and names for me are very difficult. I was able to get a name, and like, you're doing so much, like, because the husband was gone, just laughing, and I kept doing this, and she said, what you're doing with your hand is exactly what he did. So she knows she has to stop being so generous, nice, whatever the right word is.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever had anybody get like pissed off at you for what you told
Oh
them?
God, yes.
Oh, man,
Oh
that's
heavens,
tough.
yes, Sean. Yeah, because you don't tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, people, this happens too. One lady wanted to know, should I divorce my husband? Can't tell you to do that. I cannot tell you. If there's a problem, do you need to get help? Do you need to seek counsel? You know, legal advice? Yeah. I can't tell you what to do. You know, it's like when someone called me a couple of months ago, I may have told you guys this too. Well, should I go to the grocery store?
You told me about that one.
Yeah. You need to?
Yeah, that's more of a, do you have food?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Are you
Toilet
hungry?
paper?
Yeah. But no, that's it. The hard ones, guys, I'll tell you, recently have been with COVID.
Yeah.
The deaths that have come through. people so many people have needed closure because someone had to die alone. You couldn't be there because of the rules. Okay. Are they angry? Whatever. Are they upset with me? Are they whatever, and one did come through, Mike, really, where I did have to say, they said, well, you could have tried harder. Well, yeah, I went on vacation before they died.
Yeah.
And I knew I shouldn't have. Well, okay. Apologize to them, ask for their forgiveness. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. One of the psychics we work with, Karma's in the chat, and she had brought up about you have to be careful about tricksters.
Yeah.
And we actually ran into one at the Inspiration House, giving us different names from prior investigations. What kind of techniques do you use? Because we have to do it on our end too, even with like the spirit box. There'll be radio bleed or something. You kind of have to weed through that. What kind of techniques do you use to kind of weed through, potentially entities that are presenting themselves falsely, I guess?
My gut. It's just my gut there too. If it doesn't feel right, it's like, and I have found myself over the years too, just like pushing. Okay. Is this really you or whatever? But one thing that happens to me here too, we can only give the messages we're given. If I pick up like a bad smell, that is usually the time of like a trickster or someone trying to come through. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's me. Now, does it try? Oh, yeah. The other thing too is, guys, this time of year, I do a lot of gallery readings, group events. People try and invite them in.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, yeah, gentlemen. Oh, yes. They try and invite in the negative entities, things like that too. That's why, again, me with the protection, Saint Benedict, Archangel Michael, many, many, many times you'll hear me say the Lord's Prayer, many times. For protection, because people try and invite people in. Last year it happened. It was, I think, a night or two before Halloween. I did a gallery seance thing, and it did not feel right. Gut here, nauseous, up and down. And I looked over, and this is where the aura thing comes into play. I could see like the brownish. It's like, And then I stopped. I said, guys, I have to stop. Someone here, and I told everybody, someone here is trying to bring in something negative that is not welcome.
Yeah.
I said, please stop, or I will point you out and ask you to leave. They looked at me, and then they did get up and leave.
Oh.
Yeah. Because people are there for messages, for healing, not for someone to screw with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of going off of that, have you ever had like any attachments or anything?
Happens from time to time. That's why the protection, Sean, I cleanse after each event, depending on where we're at. Well, everywhere too. I do using my psychic scissors or my machete, to cut. I armor up like Archangel Michael, things like that. And I tell my ladies, armor up like you're Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
But attachments can still there too. I tend to pick up, guys, a lot of the younger ones who passed on. Some of the younger ones, they want to come home. In fact, at I can just say at Hillview, 2 months ago, I was on their Wednesday Night Live, and down 1 North, all at once my hand was there. And I kept getting the name it was either Bonnie or Bert. I can't remember now. There too, holding my hand, and I could see her. And then the equipment was going off there too. Here she was younger. She died younger, but she was had her own mental disabilities, and like the mentality of like a 12-year-old who wanted to hold on to me. They tend to feel safe, guys. Mm-hmm. Phil, I'm sure you've had that happen.
I don't think there's any woman that feels safe around Phil.
Yeah. I don't see women or children going around Phil.
Well. I was trying to be nice, Phil.
I think there's like lawful restrictions on that.
When it's like
restraining orders.
Let them give you names, it's just the gut thing, Again, it's something in my experience, guys, can't be taught.
Now, I got a question for you, Greg. With some of the experiences you've had, even like the negative ones, have you ever thought to myself, like, why am I still doing this? Or has it ever crossed your mind or anything?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Why am I still doing it? How draining can it be? And you always have to have, like, Phil, the good ones that outweigh that, sir.
Right.
Like I told you, that group of parents whose children unfortunately took their own lives, things like that as well. You do. It's like, this takes a lot out of me.
Right.
And let's face it, one thing too, gentlemen, not only with the dead, but the living. Psychic vampires exist. I protect daily, because of, I'm interacting with people so much about them trying to drain me. It hurts. It usually gets me here in the solar plexus or back here. It hurts.
Do you think, because this is one thing we've been, we're going to start trying during investigations, just at, inspiration from the Inspiration House with Tricksters. Do you feel that spirits can have like an omnipotent quality to them, where they could have somewhat like psychic type of abilities, where they could, potentially read your mind, or at least pick up on different things?
Yes. They know what we're thinking beforehand, or Mike, they may say something before we even say it or whatever. Yeah. They can, like their own gifts or whatever. And let's face it too, it's not uncommon for me during a reading or a session, I'm looking at one of you talking for me to pull out something that you never told so-and-so when they were alive, but they're talking about it. And that's just it. Look, you can't hide anything from the dead.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one thing too, guys. And I do get a lot of criticism from this. I will tell you that like I said, with the protection, bring in my angels and guides all the time. It's like Karma saying, don't put the name out. They'll use that like a hook or something like that too. But I bring in my angels and guides for protection. Michael is always there. Again, I do get quite a bit of criticism from that, but you have to.
So talking about the angels and that, what do you think about the whole stigma that everything is demons? Like every paranormal thing, there's demons here, demons there. How often have you ran across demons actually?
And without naming names, how's that too? Some of the shows, they're all demons. Okay. Yeah. They're all horns, red eyes, any of that stuff there too. No. Now, do they exist? Yeah. But are they the root cause of everything? No, they're tricksters too. A lot of the times, let's face it, wherever we go, and I'm sure you guys have run into this as well. They're tricksters. They may push, pull, scratch. They're not there to drain you or anything like that. Now, do they exist? Yeah, they do. Yeah. But not every case. Every case. No.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. Like I said, to me, one of the biggest tells, if you will, is the smell. Okay. Like rotten eggs, sulfur, things like that from the demonic. But again, protect, tell them to leave, what have you. And we've all had our run-ins with that.
Now, I got a question, too, how I mentioned about, like, you've thought, like, at times, like, why am I still doing this? Has there ever been a situation where you felt so physically drained, you're like, I can't even physically do this. I have to kind of, like, put myself out of commission for a little bit. Has that ever happened to you?
I've never done it during the middle or during a session, Phil. No.
Okay. Gotcha.
Never. Afterwards, have I had to rest? Whatever. Yeah. But not during it. What I have done is, if I'm sensing it, just like, okay, there you're armored up. I'm protected, divine, white light, the whole bit. But yeah, extra protection, but never like, okay, look, I can't do this. They're winning. No, you never let them win. You never let them win too. But the good really far outweigh the bad. And I don't want to give the impression that sad energies are negative. They're not.
Oh, absolutely.
You go to like some of the old hospitals, the mental hospitals, or even like Gettysburg. You got a lot of sad energy there. They just want to be there for us, and they want someone, if you will, talk to.
Oh, exactly.
Do you think, because I know you're stressing protection, do you think it's ever possible to overprotect, and that would kind of block out incoming, spirits in general?
A lot of people tell me that, Mike. A lot of people tell me. I was brought up that way, doing it too. To me, it may be like a crutch, but I do that as well. Will I let it down? No.
No.
Hey.
No, because it does exist. You know, we've all seen it. We've all had the experiences. Have I been scratched? Yeah. There are pictures. I'm not sure if they're on Facebook or somewhere else on the internet too, of me being scratched. I had 3 here about 6 years ago doing a house investigation. Another time it was, now this is something too, guys, too. I'm visiting a house doing a reading. This was in the Cleveland area and it was gone. A couple weeks later, they called me back. I went in and they had a 14-year-old daughter. And all I kept hearing is, you invited, you invited. I looked at her in front of the parents. I said, his name was Billy, I think, the spirit. I said, you invited him back. She said, yeah. Her parents' jaw dropped.
Oh, geez.
Like, why did you do that? Here she felt sorry for him. Now, this is something where, as Karma has been saying here too, spirits can put something in your head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, playing on children to feel sorry for them, to invite them in. You know, we can make it go, but I can't tell you not to invite it in.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest like things too, is like I've never been like scratched or anything, especially with going into these like locations and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap, if it ever were to happen, you're like, what do I do? You know?
It's happened, Phil, it's happened twice in my entire career. The most recent, a couple years ago, right before COVID, too. That was only 1 scratch. The worst was 3. Why, I don't know, but then, you know, it's never happened again. Were there any side effects, bad dreams, attachments? No. Now, I do, one of you gentlemen asked about attachments coming home. It's not uncommon for me to dream about where I was a night or 2 later. Okay. Whether it is a happy dream, sometimes I get the light where they're going into the light or what have you, but I do get that as well. But I don't consider that an attachment.
Carmen, that was funny.
Yeah,
she knows Phil too.
Oh, I see that. Oh, geez, Carmen. Yeah. Oh, Phil. Yeah, we're not. Anyway, yeah, I don't consider that an attachment.
Okay.
Do you still think that when you're having those types of dreams, you say it's not an attachment, but do you feel that it could open an invitation for things to come in as you're dreaming?
Yes, I do. And that can be a good question. That can be difficult. Sometimes if I do wake up or force myself to wake up or something, I do extra protection. Yeah. A lot of times my wife will catch me, believe it or not, in the middle of the night. I'm laying there. This is going to sound crazy. My arms will go up in the air.
Oh,
like this. And I'm touching them. And a lot of times that may be when I'm having the dream. This is how she knows, like, to wake me up. And then again, guys, it's just, you know, okay, you need to leave me in peace, leave alone, things like that.
That makes
crazy.
sense.
Good.
Yeah.
So I have a question, actually. Like, Mikey's agnostic. So with
Okay.
him, like, not really believing in anything, do you think he's more susceptible to something maybe attaching to him, or?
No, not necessarily, because Mikey, you can, and I understand, but at the same time, do you know that you do not permit anything to attach? I hear you. I hear you, Sean, but that doesn't mean like you bring in your angels and guides or whatever divinity you prefer.
Yeah.
But you, Mikey, is there. Okay, I am good. Nothing is allowed to attach to me.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I always did, because I come from a family of investigators to an extent, who have their own abilities and everything. And one thing they always told me to say is, before you leave a place, you just always say, you're not allowed to attach to me. You're not allowed to come home with me.
Right.
I'll come back and visit. You have to stay here, but I'll definitely come back and visit, and we'll communicate further.
Yeah, I say something very similar, whether it be a location or even a house party or a shop, guys, too. Okay, thank you. And in my head, thank you for allowing me, but you have to stay. You cannot come with me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
same
feel like
thing.
in a way, like as an investigator too, I feel like as long as you're being respectful during the investigation throughout the night, no matter what, if you're interacting with a negative entity, you're interacting with positive energy, whatever you're interacting with, if you can just remain respectful, and then you close with that, a lot of the times they'll respect respect you and not come back with you.
Right. And you always close, the closure, the respect. That's a real good point there too. And never, I don't believe in this, guys, antagonizing.
Oh yeah. I never was.
And again, without naming names or anything specifics, you're somewhere. Come on, I dare you. Come on. Right. No. What good does that do?
We won't name names, but we know it's Sean's boy.
It's like you're trying to like pick a fight with somebody. Why would you even want to do that? I'm like,
why would you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're going to interact with you more. Like I think they would rather interact with somebody being respectful, and you may not get an interaction, but at least you're, they're more inclined to interact with you.
And to build on that too, Mikey, one thing is, if a spirit is coming through and I'm talking whatever, I have asked them to, okay, you need to slow down so that I can understand you. And if I feel that they're being pushy or angry or whatever, you need to calm down, guys, or I'm going to make you leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're not there to be the doormat, to be beat up or whatever. Okay. We're there to help. And so you have to respect that.
Yeah, one thing I always say too, because one of the big things I use is the spirit box, which I know it's really hard to hear a lot of stuff live.
Yes.
So sometimes I'll apologize even and just say, I'm sorry if you had already answered this question, or if you're getting frustrated because I'm asking this question and the conversation should be going this way. I apologize. A lot of times we can't hear anything. But we'd love to, whatever question I'm asking, then I continue on. But
yeah, and Mikey, I have to do that. I just had to do this week ago-ish. Spirits with an accent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sometimes they come through with a heavy accent depending on the ethnicity. I'm sorry, can you speak slowly to let me understand? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens as well.
Too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like here we are, kind of like a boundary sort of thing, if that's the right word I want to use there too as well. It's like the proverbial gentleman coexist.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, the boundary thing, that's another thing. We always start our investigations off with an introduction. So we introduce everybody from the team, and each person establishes those boundaries. Yeah. I usually say, as long as I'm here, you can do whatever you want. You're just not allowed to come home with me.
Right. And I tend to, and nobody really knows I do this. When I walk in, whether it's a bigger place or a house, and I'm alone setting up here in my headspace, it's like, okay, everybody, I am here, but clear, complete, concise messages for highest and best good, no evil, no negativity. We're here to respect each other. But then again, here comes a thing where I've been at a location where we've all been there. Younger people tend to antagonize the person. Okay. The spirits, plural. Saw them on camera. Well, I went down the hall and because I'm not an employee, so I can say what I want. And I told them, I walked up to them in front of their parents and said, I see what you're doing and you're really going to cause some problems. Okay. Oh, yeah, laughed. I walked away. I said, okay. I looked at the father and winked. Went back on camera down in the lobby and watched him. Boy, that young man let out a yell a few minutes later and tears in his eyes. And I went out in the hall and I just looked at him. I said, now, did you learn? That happens. Yeah. Cocky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you walk into a person's home for the first time.
Yeah.
Hopeful, they're inviting you in there, and
Phil, good point. Good point. Real good point. Whenever I go into a shop or someone's home or whatever, I'm the guest.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We treat it as such. Hi, I am here to help you, not to go in and, okay, come on, show yourself. Do that. No. What good is that doing?
Exactly. Exactly. And I even tell, even if you don't get a response, you still had a great time there, and things could happen when you least expect it to. And you go into a certain place expecting things to happen, you might have crickets, but that's okay.
Well, and one of the most important things, and I see what Karma's writing here too. I had a situation in Moscow, believe it or not, not long ago. A lady who's in Ohio has a sister in Moscow who had a death, and I said, I don't want to know. So we did the whole times things, and we did Facebook Messenger. She was there doing the translating, and I was talking to the lady in Moscow, and I kept getting it. And the heavy accent, I actually had to ask Spirit, this going to sound weird, to speak clearer English so that I could understand. Because he was speaking in very heavy broken Russian.
Yeah. Now,
Did
do
it
you
work?
feel when you do those remote readings and everything, do you feel that there are any limitation as opposed to being in person?
Yeah, there are. I do them. Does it take more out of me? Yeah. I much prefer face-to-face. But, any more out during COVID, guys, we had to.
Yeah.
The remote ones, they're effective too. But I'm finding myself during a remote session, and I never do a group remote. I don't do it. It's one-on-one like this, where like I'm just laser focused like this for the connection, like through the airwaves. If that makes any sense there too. Do they work? Yeah. I mean, I've worked with that lady in Russia twice now in the past couple of months too. And it's helped. Gave me some very specifics. I was able to help her with that. But I much prefer the face-to-face.
Do you feel with the remote ones, like, do you feel that distance or logistics or geography, like, do you feel like the further that person is away, the harder it is to connect, like, as opposed to connecting with us in Pennsylvania versus, in Moscow?
No, a good point, Mikey. Now it's this again, experience too, years where it's just a matter of like I'm laser focused on you right now. Okay. Where I have to tune in. No, it can be that way, whether it's here or somebody in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Too. And one thing, Mikey, you said this too, gentlemen, one thing we as readers in our profession have to be aware of is local and state law.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Some states, you have to have that nice little disclaimer up there for entertainment purposes only.
Huh.
And you're in one of them.
Oh, are we?
Technically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just as long as it's a little sign on the table or whatever. For entertainment purposes only. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
Some states are like that, too. And then you're covered.
Yeah.
So can you tell us, is Phil ever going to find a woman? I can put up with him.
Well, two different things, Sean.
He'll find several women, I'm sure.
He's found several women, ages. Wow, that's a whole nother thing.
I'm doing totally fine, just how I am.
Yeah, but to put up with them, nah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Poor Sean's wife.
What's that?
Poor Sean's wife.
Oh, Jen. How is Jen doing?
She's doing good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I see Karma again, too. Photos, no names. I don't need anything like that until they show up either. I do a lot of psychometry where I, hold an object.
There we go.
Yeah, I do that, too, as well.
Oh, okay.
But I don't do that with copies of items.
Now,
like a copy of a picture. I want the original.
Do you ever use? I can't think of the name. Like something like a psychological, the blot, the Rorschach.
The Rorschach test.
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever used anything like that? Okay.
No.
I thought you said Worcestershire. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. No, man. No, I don't. I like the psychometry holding like a coin or whatever too. It's all energy.
Yeah.
Things like that. That's psychometry. That's a whole different thing as well. Because with that too, guys, you can get see, hear, feel, smell. People say, if you hold this, what are you going to see? Oh, I don't know, but I'm hearing this name. Because a lot of things too, and you guys may have run into this. People want to be able to see something. It may not work that way. We're on spirit time.
Oh yeah.
They may not want us to see. They may not want to. We may get a smell.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that too.
One thing I did the one time was I was at Goodwill and I took a K2 meter. I went around. It was like trying different items out and seeing if I was getting any readings, which I did. Yeah. So like on that night, like, could you pick something up at a store? Like, say you picked up an object to somebody's, like,
oh God, sir, yeah. One thing this happened. A couple of times. I've been asked to read like in antique shops, things like that for special events. It is a cleansing thing, a bubble, because I'm trying to focus on you, but I may be picking up on items or something next to me. One house I did a big gallery reading at, and it was nothing but static. I walked in and I got real nauseous and people were talking. It was like static. It was here in the Akron area. And I said, is all this like from a garage sale, yard sale, whatever? And the homeowner said, yeah, I collect. I said, we need to cleanse or this is not going to work. She had never cleansed anything, whether sage, holy water, or her intention. That can affect us.
Yeah.
True. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, have you ever done a reading? Because I mean, we go on investigations and sometimes things are quiet. Have you ever had a reading where, like, where, and what do you do in those situations with the person?
Two different things, Mikey. Two different things. First of all, is it the person I'm reading, such as you, who is blocking me? Okay. Or is it spirit? You know, believe it or not, it can be easier to get through it with spirit. The people in front of you, you know, or we've all seen the ones that, you know, I dare you.
Yeah.
Okay. Reading's over. I'm not wasting my energy.
Yeah.
Just
come in with very extremely skeptical and confrontational.
Yeah, and you know what? But two different things, Mike. Two different things. Skeptical is one thing.
Yeah.
Being blocking is a complete different one.
Yeah.
You know? And I've caught people lying where, oh, yeah, that's not it. I said, this just happened. I said, are you sure? Because I kept getting the name David, and David William. Oh, no. What the guy didn't know is his wife was standing in the doorway nodding her head yes, because he was being a jerk and trying to trip me up.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's when I said, and she came in, I said, you know what? We're done here.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Why waste my energy because you're a jerk?
Yeah,
True.
no, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Man.
But, you know, there's always new stories every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to protect. And my big problem is, one of them, I can't come home and go right to sleep.
Right.
I have to have at least a half hour, 45-minute drive, no radio. I'll text my wife, I'm on my way home. That's it. I have to let it calm down because they can want to keep going too.
Yeah.
You know?
That's actually, I think Lori said, are you able to tune out?
Yeah. It depends on where. Yeah. A lot of times too, Lori, I have to ask them, especially if I'm very tired. Hey guys, you know, you need to calm down. Let me rest or I'm not going to be any good. Yeah. Ask them to tune down. I asked them. Oh, and one thing, and some people disagree with me. I asked for permission.
Really?
Going in, Phil.
Okay.
Like into an investigation. Okay. Hey guys, I'm here. If you don't want me here, let me know. Give me a very clear sign. You know, very, very, very rarely does that happen. But I asked for permission. Not here to, I don't know what I want to say, be destructive or something like that. You know, we're not going to destroy property or their space.
And you may have actually, said this earlier, but obviously you've dealt with, there's been some like really negative moments kind of thing. Now, whenever you try to get the good to overpower it kind of thing, does that actually take more effort than you'd like it to, or is it pretty instantaneous?
Yeah, no, it does take some effort, Phil. You have to ask, it's negative. Okay, I'm asking good spirit. In fact, this happened a couple months ago where I'm reading a young man there too. Okay, where someone is coming through. I think a friend of his was passed. I'm not sure. Well, the mother was also gone. Well, this spirit was being rather agitated. Well, then the spirit mother came in just to calm him down. It was a weird situation.
Oh man, has anybody ever gotten like, this might be a bit of a stretch, but like physically like aggressive with you to the point where like, I got to get out of here. This guy's going to start like,
You mean the one I'm reading or the spirit?
Oh, just in general, like with any session you've done with like people, have anybody ever gotten like how Sean mentioned earlier, pissed off? Have people ever gotten like physically aggressive? Like
not who I'm reading. No.
Okay, good.
No. The most I've had, guys, has been the scratches on the neck, and that's from spirit. But no one ever lunged across the table or USOB and no, nothing like that, Phil. That's your lady situation. That's your female.
Phil's into that though, so
that's a whole nother show.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I just thought of it like, because you know how some people are anymore. People get so passive aggressive about stuff too. They have like that calm demeanor, but then something triggers them. And then they go into, I got to get out of this room. Otherwise, this person's going to start swinging kind of thing.
Now, one thing I have found that, and this is happening more and more, I have declined to read people who have been drinking.
Ooh.
Okay. Like I go to a house party or something and by the time they come in, especially later, they're slurring or let's just say drinking under the influence of something. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay. Where you can tell. And if I suspect what I've done more than once at a house party, I go to the host or the hostess and say, look, this is what's going on. I can't read them.
Yeah.
Or won't. It's like doing events like at wineries or whatever. Too, if someone is visibly intoxicated or loud or slurring, it's never a good situation.
How common is that though? Like, does that happen more often than it should? Or
yeah,
it does.
It goes on like during the summer months more, like outdoor events, like wineries. I do quite a few winery events too.
Yeah.
It happens there where they're drinking. New Year's Eve, I do from time to time readings. New Year's Eve, I always cut them off. Between 11 and 11:15, because and if they're drinking slurring or whatever, or under the influence of something too, it's never a good situation. It's never good.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing too, because I'm sure it's not going to always be like a walk in a park every time you do some of these, especially with the locations you go to. It's weird. And sometimes now where I'm at west of Akron, some of the bars, you don't go in. They're not physically drinking, but you can feel the spirits there who have been drinking. Yeah.
If that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm saying that right too.
Oh yeah.
Like they had a major drinking problem and they're still drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy because even a person who isn't in your field can even sense it too.
Yeah, you're right.
That energy off it, Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Going back to the tuning in and tuning out, like you said, you recognize the ability whenever you were 4. When you first recognized it and first were starting to get these experiences, was it like just all coming in at once because you didn't have that ability to tune out, or did you? And have to.
It was. Well, I'm unique
over the years
in that situation, Mikey. In that I had my family.
Okay, I guess that is true. Yeah,
it's here. Okay, this is how you protect, how to calm down. I did have that. Yeah. It's just a learning thing. You don't want to invite it in, of course.
Yeah.
No, but you do have to, like I said, learn how to cope. I don't. There's no easy way to say that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what other? I know when we were at Conneaut, you taught a scrying class. Do you use Ouija boards or anything else, or you ever had seances or stuff like that?
Well, the scrying, which is the mirror. Okay, good point, Sean. Scrying, which is the mirror, the crystal ball. I did the incense smoke. I don't know if you guys ever saw me do that. Incense smoke. I do candle soot. All right, gentlemen, what very, very, very famous movie that we've all seen many, many times has a couple examples of scrying in it?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay. I would never even
Oh, yeah.
Dorothy runs away to Professor Marvel. He's in the gypsy wagon with the turban and the ball, right? There's one. Later on in the movie, the Wicked Witch is in her castle. The green ball when they're running through the poppy fields?
Yeah.
Scrying. A history on scrying is, thousands of years old. The ancient Egyptians used to use the back of a very, very high polished shield, theory being they can look into the shield and see how their troops or enemies are doing in battle. That's it, too. Another famous type of scrying. Any ideas? Mirror on the wall.
Oh,
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. The evil queen.
Yep.
But scrying, I teach how to see auras. See, hear, and feel auras. The different. I keep that very basic. Psychometry, scrying, how to see auras, and stuff like that. I do a couple of different workshops.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that, do you feel like people can not necessarily have the abilities that you have, but do you feel like when you're doing those teachings and everything, that people can, I guess, tap into abilities I guess they didn't know they had? Or do you feel like it's something you can teach as well?
3 things actually, Mikey. Yes, you can teach them to not be afraid of it. Okay, to use it, like how to see auras. It's not just staring at someone, seeing the energy. It can be eyes open, eyes shut. How many times, guys, have you been driving along and look up in the clouds and see something?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's scrying already. You're looking at something, right? You see Mickey Mouse or Rabbit, or Phil sees whoever's address and phone number.
That's just him looking in a window, probably.
Yeah, that's foggy, wiping it off, going, yeah. Well, that's scrying, guys. Okay,
makes sense. Yeah,
you see that as well. Seeing the images. All right, an aura. Just real quickly, you're driving along. Usually spring, summer day. Usually, the trees are green and everything, and you're relaxed. No phone, no nothing. And you're looking off over the tree line, and you see the white haze or mist.
Mm-hmm.
That's the aura.
Okay.
Scrying again, not only the mirror, the crystal ball, the black or the bowl with water or ink. The ancient, I'm always getting mixed up whether it's Aztecs or Incas. Used to use the bowl with human blood in it. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes frowned upon. At least in Pennsylvania, it's frowned upon.
Yeah. But no, that's it. So scrying, the water, the ink, the whole bit. You're looking, you can look out in the front yard and see a pattern in the grass. Or how many times, guys, you look on trees and either see images like through the leaves or on the bark of trees.
Yeah, I mean that's like every paranormal thing I follow on Facebook are pictures of trees, and you see the ghost, you see it. And
yeah. But anyway, Mikey, to answer your question, I'm sorry I got distracted.
No.
Anybody can attend the workshop to look at it. Okay. My goal is to help you relax, to open it. Now, whether you choose to use it or not is another story. That's just it. A lot of times after a scrying workshop, people will come to me and they're in the bathroom mirror at night, usually at night, washing their face, brushing their teeth before you go to bed. Maybe it's dim light with the night light and you're just soft focusing. Do you see something behind you?
Candyman.
Uh-oh. Or in your case, it's Phil. Yeah. But no, so anybody can be taught. Do they want to? My job is to, when I do it, guys, to make sure they're comfortable. I always ask, are you afraid? We need to lose the fears. Because here's what's going on, guys. Hollywood has screwed everything up for us in our profession.
Yeah.
Like you as investigators, there's something dark with the horns and the red eyes and all that other stuff. Yeah, no, it's not all bad. To take that nonsense out of it, like shadow people. Okay, I see shadows every day, and I'm sure you guys do too. Not all shadows are bad,
right?
Are they green-eyed, red-eyed, blue-eyed? Do you get the bad smell? Well, then we got another problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of going off of that, like I've said this before on past podcasts, when you're like more open to this type of stuff and do this more often, it seems like you notice stuff more often, more stuff happens around you. Like even like when I used to work at the school, I'd be working at the school and one of the lockers would open. I'd be the only one in the building, or something would fall off the wall. Or do you think it's like something trying to get a hold of you because they know that like,
Yes and no, Sean. Depends. Now, is it a picture of someone specific that is falling off the wall or tilted, that's gone, that you have been thinking of? They're letting you know. It's like me, and I'll be real honest. I tell people, especially with cardinals, let's be careful, okay? Given the part of the country where we live, they're all over, right? I can look out the kitchen window and see half my family every morning. Excuse me. No. But if you see the same thing like at 9:01 every morning on the same pole, there's a cardinal. Excuse me, them just trying to make us aware of something. But here's the thing with spirit, guys. Did you dream about them the night before and then the picture goes cockeyed? Did you dream about them and their name flashes?
Mm-hmm.
Anything like that.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
You know, it's like feathers too. I tell people, please be careful.
Right.
If you're walking outside, you know, and you find a feather, well, and you look up and there's a nest. No, that's not from spirit. That's from a bird.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like they may be reaching for correlations or whatnot.
Well, Mikey, too, a lot of people reaching, because they want to. They're somewhat desperate for closure, information, whatever. You know?
Going off of Sean's question, though, do you feel that paranormal or supernatural things are always happening, and it's just that people just don't realize it? I guess they just don't know to look for it, and kind of.
They don't know to look, Mikey. They don't know to look. They don't want to, or they just closed off.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think also, just to kind of add to Mikey, I think everybody experiences something. I mean,
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Guys, with the 5 of us here, I'm sure we all have in some way.
Yeah.
But do we acknowledge it? Do we know it? No. You know, I'm sure I miss things. You know, this is my career. I'm sure I miss things. You know, if I'm busy talking on the phone with a client or doing computer work or paperwork, you know, I'm sure I miss things too. We all do. But everyone can do it. I'm just not sure they're open to it. It's like the old saying, Mikey, not all psychics are mediums, but most mediums are psychics.
So what is the difference between a psychic and a medium?
Okay, to me, psychic, use of the cards and the tools for forward, future. Mediumship is spirit work. Like I use oracle cards, I use playing cards, I read dominoes, I read seashells, I do tea leaf, which is another form of scrying, guys. Tea leaf, coffee grounds is scrying. That's psychic for future. Mediumship is like use of the pendulum to connect spirits. The L rods. You boys use the dowsing rods in your work at all?
Occasionally, but it's more for like publics and just for like visual type of thing.
Not
too
much,
I tend to use those, but I use one usually more than anything there too.
Yeah, I think we've seen you do it actually at some of your readings. Where
yeah, probably. Oh yeah, you have.
Yeah, hanging over the table, kind of going like this a little bit.
Yeah. And Hillview, that happens a lot where it'll swing. Yeah, it's hanging down, swinging, Phil. Anyway. And that's also my theory that the majority of people, guys, can learn more easily how to be psychic, meaning interpretation of the tools, the cards. Cards, dominoes, like I use those, oracle cards, tarot cards, playing cards. You know, anybody can do that. You're the interpreter. The real trick comes into is, Mikey, if I'm reading you and I'm doing a card spread, but then I'm getting a message or something else, that's why you come to me. You don't want to pay me to do the cards and flip through the book that you can do yourself.
Yeah.
What's the difference between tarot and oracle cards?
Tarot, Sean, they have the set meanings per se. Oracle to me are more open to interpretation. Oracle, I use a gypsy witch. My God, gemstones are an oracle. I use dice as an oracle.
Okay.
Things like that. Oracle is more open to interpretation. And for me as well, now this is just me. When I use an oracle, that seems to jumpstart more of the mediumship for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyone can use them. Do you want to? It's like the pendulum, yes, no. And Mikey, getting back to, I think you said it too, when we first got started about the pendulum and the spirits. If you use a pendulum, I'm a big believer in always testing it first. Yes, no. Like if you use a pendulum, okay, do I have brown hair? And you're a blonde, and it says, yeah, well, then you got to go back, reset it, the whole bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which do you prefer though, out of the things that you use? Like, what is your most preferred, way of doing things? So, like, obviously with like the pendulum and the dowsing rods and all that stuff. Like, what's your most?
Honestly, I like the rods better. Like I said, I can't use them all the time. For some reason, there's just a connection. Mm-hmm. I still have the very first set of L rods I made Oh shoot, 30 years ago,
Oh, wow.
maybe longer, out of wire coat hangers.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
You take a wire coat hanger, make it the L, and
Yeah.
use a straw on the bottom.
Okay.
That's
I still
amazing.
have them. The copper, I like those. The pendulum I use sometimes just because of access and where I'm at.
Okay.
hmm
That's awesome.
And, gentlemen, muscle testing. Okay. If any of you have ever done that, where, okay, yes, no, where you may lean forward or back. Okay.
Like the human
Or-
pendulum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
John.
Oh, okay.
Or sometimes with you, and I always get this mixed up, yes, no, or,
Oh, well, I never saw that one.
oh, yeah, a lot of people do that. We have a very mutual friend in
Sean.
common, guys, who does that.
Oh, okay.
Who does that? Very, very good at muscle testing with the body swaying.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Now, do you ever have like the the people that come to you? Do you ever like let them decide what they want you to do, like kind of thing, or is it more of like-
Sometimes, but not as a rule.
okay?
Not as a rule. The most I do, Phil, is because I explain psychic medium, because people get mixed up. They think psychics are automatically spirits going to come through.
Yeah.
No. Well, they say, oh, I don't want to talk to anybody. Okay, fine. That's your choice. Well, then we stick with the psychic side tools. I always explain the difference. And if they do not want this, then we don't do it.
Okay.
Oh.
Gotcha. So whatever they feel comfortable with, basically. For
Yeah.
the most part.
Yeah. And, Phil, that's a good point. During my sessions, I really try and do whatever makes my clients comfortable.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Now, is this like just a Hollywood thing, or is like, can someone actually channel somebody where they're actually speaking in their voice and they're actually?
I have never, spoken in their voice that sounds like them.
Mhm.
I have never done it, and I'll be real honest, I don't know anybody who does.
Okay.
No. Well, you did
Now-
mention earlier the hand movement that the woman recognized was her
Yeah.
husband's.
Mhm.
Or,
Do you
you
feel
know
like
what
that
else?
was kind of a channeling thing then too?
It can be, Mikey, that, and not only the motion, but the phrases.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
A lot of times I'm saying something and then I'll say blah, blah, blah. And they look, oh, that's like whoever used to say those exact words. Can that be channeling? Yeah, okay. To me, I call it validation
No.
from the other side there too. But, sitting there where it's dark or whatever, and you start speaking in their language with their accent, let's face it, guys, it would be real hard for any of us to speak in a female voice.
That's more Hollywood then, basically.
In my opinion, Sean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but channeling can also be like mannerisms, words, things
Okay.
like that. Yeah. And sometimes I do draw. Sometimes, not a lot. I always keep a pad of paper with me. And sometimes, not always, I have colored pencils and I'll do that, but not a lot. I usually have a pen, kind of like an automatic writing, which is a whole nother type of divination in itself. You can even get into scrying with that too, guys, crossing the line, where if you're doodling or whatever and you look down and there's a picture.
Mhm.
Hey.
Yeah.
Now I got a
No.
random question for you. What are your thoughts on the Ed and Lorraine war, and how what are your thoughts on those two? 'Cause
I like them. I know someone who works very closely with them.
Okay.
A lot of research on things like that as well. Lorraine gifted abilities. Yeah, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. hmm I like them too. A lot of respect for them. Unfortunately, gentlemen, and we all know a lot out there that a lot of people have given people in our profession, my profession, a bad name.
Mhm.
No.
That's why I do not, because people think, oh, I'm coming to your house. Okay. Here's my first name and address, but I'm not giving you my last name. Well, why? Well, you'll look me up. Well, no last name, no visit.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay. My wife always knows where I'm at. It's real simple. That's where you got to trust. Well, I'm not giving you my last name or a real name. Well, sorry, then get someone else.
There you go.
Now,
And
do
how often
you
does
have
that
a
happen?
particular case at all where it was kind of you went into a situation where it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here, just based on the people, not the spirits?
Yeah. Yeah, that has, and not a lot, Mikey, not a lot. It has happened where I can't believe I'm here. And one thing that they did was they had their children there, little children, like 7 and 8. Mm-mm. Won't do it.
No.
Yeah. We all have to have our boundaries.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and they're too young for that too. You never know what I'm going to say. Heck, you guys know me that in real life. You never know what's going to come out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's all, and one thing too, Mikey, to get a tag on this too. We're all learning every day.
Yeah.
Too many people say, "Oh, I learned enough. I can't learn anymore." Well, yeah, you can.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
absolutely.
we all can learn from each other every day in this line of work, new techniques, how to open it. Let me ask you gentlemen questions. When you're out doing a hunt, how many of you pick up on other things that the equipment isn't there? Remember, see, hear, feel, smell.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think in multiple times. I mean, I remember we were going down the hallway on the 4th floor of Trans-Allegheny, and I don't claim to have any abilities whatsoever. I always just say I have maximum effort. But we're doing the tour, and we passed this room, and I was like, for some reason that room just it seems like murder. And our tour guide was like, well, I wasn't even going to say anything, but there was someone group in there last week, and a woman was scratched. And I was like, well, I want to go in that room later. And it's so weird. Have you been to Trans-Allegheny before?
No, I haven't. That is on my list.
It's so big. And like, I called our documentary Discombobulated in the Dark, because you can't get your bearings on where you're at in the building. And I never made it back to that room because I just couldn't.
Especially at night, because like we were there. I was there. We were just there. Me and Phil were just there, and we did some of the daytime stuff. And nighttime is definitely way more confusing in daytime.
That's very true.
Yeah, I bet there too. One thing I tend to pick up on, gentlemen, and we haven't talked about this, is outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
Fields, adjacent property, not just the building.
Okay.
What about the spirits outside?
Mm-hmm.
Hillview, gentlemen, I pick up on a lot out back. That's not uncommon. And there's able to have been validated reasons too for that. Yeah. But not just inside, guys, outside. You know where it can be interesting? Junkyards.
No, that makes
auto
sense.
junkyards.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very, like if you go by one or whatever, it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
You can feel any type of injuries or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're just creepy to begin with, you know.
No, you're right. Any place has energy. People tend to associate it more, guys, with the buildings.
Yeah.
Why not the land or the property?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's funny too how you mentioned that. I'd see like videos when of a lot of captures in broad daylight. I'm like, it doesn't matter where you are, it's gonna happen. Yeah. It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, broad daylight. How many of you too? Broad daylight, Phil. Remember, see, hear, feel, smell. You may smell something. You may feel. You may hear your name being called from someone who's passed.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I had interactions in my own house. I was especially when I was working from home, I'd hear stuff moving around in my basement. While I was working. And then I'm like, I'm on my lunch break. I'm going down there with a spirit box and see what I get.
Are all you guys in the Pittsburgh area? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually funny how Mikey just mentioned he'd hear stuff in his basement, because I've heard stuff like fly off my shelves in my bathroom and everything too. I actually investigated the one night there. I was like, what the hell? But there was nothing. Yeah. It sounded like, this is going to sound kind of awkward, like a chapstick bar jumped out and just fell on the ground, and I went into my bathroom.
Really?
There was nothing. I was on my recliner just watching TV. I'm like, what the? It scared me half to death because it just.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. Here too, in our home, it's just me and my wife. We don't have kids or dogs or cats. I keep out many times. The little cat toys, the balls that light up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I keep those out. And it's not uncommon. Now, upstairs in the bedroom, in the hallway, there's a good 20 feet between the bed and the hall, and there's nothing milling around. She'll wake me up, that it's going off. for some reason too. And sometimes it's, we may kind of think we know who it is. Another time it's like, who did you bring home?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In fact, she's off camera here, raising her hand at me. Yeah. She gets mad. And there's a few choice words. Oh, gentlemen, one thing too, talking about auras, I'm going to back up. Don't ever, ever, ever practice reading auras on someone in the middle of the night when they're sleeping and they wake up and see you staring at them.
What are you trying to say, Greg?
Well, it's like, you can't sleep and you're there.
Yeah.
And they wake up. Well, there's a few choice words, Phil.
Yeah.
I've woken up in the hotel when Phil's done that to me. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me and Sean have shared hotels.
Sean, what was that? Phil watched you sleep.
Me and Phil have shared hotel rooms before. I'll wake up and he's staring at me for some reason.
Yeah.
I hope that's all he's doing. But anyway,
or what?
Yeah, no, but that's it too. But it's interesting, and I'm serious too, to watch people dream with the auras, and then I'll move on. If you have a pet, like a dog or cat sleeping, and you can tune in and focus seriously on the aura, you'll see it change. If they're dreaming, you may see it pulsate.
Crazy.
So
now, bringing up your wife, does she believe in the paranormal?
Oh yeah, 100%. You've met her.
Yeah, I know. I was
you guys have met her.
Statement, yeah.
Paranormal interest in the aliens. Yeah, the alien things like that as well.
Okay.
One thing, when we're out together, many times you'll never know she's there. Because here's why, especially if I'm doing a group thing like a gallery, she sits behind me, where I have no line of vision, because people know who she is. Oh, she's feeding me information that she learned from you. Because God knows she's wearing a wire and I have an earpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but very, especially this time of year, this season, she'll be with me a couple of the bigger events.
Okay.
Awesome.
So, yeah, but it's fun.
Does she like it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
In fact, before we were, one of our first dates? She had her own house. I think we only been dating maybe a month, maybe.
Mating or dating?
Mating or dating?
Dating. No. Well, seeing each other. How's that?
That works.
I picked up on something in her house. Yeah, stop that. Yeah. Picked up on something in her house, which I didn't know, okay, here we go, whether it was going to continue or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate test whenever you know that's a keeper right there,
Yeah. Mating. Oh, who's that? Sean. Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah. But, practice anything like that. And two, gentlemen, one thing we haven't talked about, ghost hunting. Picking up on the spirit aura, meaning you can see someone, okay, spirit, like I do. Do you then see their energy trailing? Do you guys, and I'm not familiar that much with the equipment you guys use. Do you pick up on like a trailing energy or anything like that?
I don't know if we have necessarily equipment that really picks up visuals.
Thermal. We have a thermal that.
Maybe you know what, Sean? Maybe that's what I mean. Yeah, the thermals.
I don't think we've had success with the thermal yet, have we?
Yeah, because it's not uncommon to see it, the trailing. Or two, guys, one thing we haven't talked about either are orbs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any of you, have you taken any still photos of orbs?
I have never had the...
Yeah.
Okay, have you zoomed in on them to see if you see a face?
Yeah. We have one at Bel Air, actually, that I took.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, my allergies are a mess.
It was daytime too, in the bedroom.
But orbs too. Now, I try and be realistic. Okay, orbs, can they be dust droplets? Yeah,
or bugs sometimes.
Yeah, but if you zoom in on them, and see a face or whatever,
Crazy.
Absolutely. But guys, too, one thing I'm a big believer in, like, say I'm doing a one-on-one reading with any of you gentlemen, and you have someone gone. You don't have to tell me out loud until I pick it up. Invite them in.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and, well, no, I don't want you here. Well, then why are you seeing me?
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But really, what else you want to know?
Would you be willing to do a reading on one of us?
Not now, though. Not now, because there's so many here, and I'll be honest with you, I'm tired.
Private situation.
And privacy. I don't know who's watching here, guys.
Wow.
Yeah,
Makes
Mikey,
sense.
that's real good. But it's been a long day. I actually started at 5 a.m. this morning.
And we don't have the for entertainment sign anywhere.
We would make that.
Background somewhere.
Mikey, we would make it and put it right there too. But,
I can't believe that. That's crazy.
I tell you why too, Sean. I did that a while ago, and I didn't know someone you knew, not you personally, but someone was watching.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
You need the disclaimer.
Yeah.
But anytime I see you gentlemen anywhere, you sure know how to snag me or give me a call.
And that bottle of bourbon was delicious, by the way, that you brought over. That one.
Oh, I forgot about that at
Yeah,
Mansfield that night. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, be feeling good that night.
Oh, yeah, that was a fun weekend too. You guys going back this year, next year?
I hope so.
Yeah, we will be.
We are, yeah.
It was a blast.
I made that as well, and I got confirmation of Hillviews today.
Oh,
Okay.
Awesome. What's the creepiest thing you've ever seen in Hillview? Like, what's the most intense experience you've had there?
Okay, honestly, second floor dispensary. One of the very first times I was there, and I smelled awful smell like a chloroform. And I thought, this isn't good, because that can be an intense place, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I looked down in the dispensary at the end of the hall. I think it was on 2, and I saw a lady, like an old time nurse, like maybe from the 20s or 30s, who was in the longer outfit with the apron and like the headpiece on too. It's like the angel of death. What I picked up is she's the one who would help people, like euthanasia, put people out of their misery with the chloroform. That's why I was smelling her.
Crazy.
Just picked up on a new one about 2-3 months ago. I forget her name now. Was it Eleanor? Whatever. Anyway, Donnie was able to Googled it, and she had died and was buried not far from there. And I kept seeing the lady in white, like not a gown or a shroud, but like a uniform. She was a housekeeper.
Oh,
Nice.
Who worked there. But the creepiest, Phil, was like, I want to say the nurse, I'm going to call her, who put people out of their misery.
oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. One of the other places, not even near there, here in Ohio, I
Yeah.
picked up on a gentleman outside, again, not inside, who was drugged by his horse.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Yeah. And it was able to, it's just real easy to say that.
Yeah.
I don't consider it true unless it's able to be validated.
Right.
No, it
Yeah,
makes
no,
sense.
I can say that anything, and you guys will roll your eyes. God knows people do that all the time. Me, especially my wife, but being drugged by the horse, things like that.
Oh, man.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
is there ever any like situation where you talk to like, random people about like what you do and they just kind of like roll their eyes how you mentioned? And then did they ever eventually get an interest peaked whenever you go into more depth of what you do? Or they're just like, nah, don't believe in it. Move on.
Yeah, they do, but I'm also very careful, Phil, depending on the setting.
Okay.
One thing happened in the state of Delaware, about 7 years ago, Jan, we used to go down several times a year. I had relatives there. My wife and I were in a store, and there was this lady there. We were checking out, and she was, I think, right next to me. And her and I looked, and our eyes locked. And she said, "You have something to tell me?" I said, "Yeah, I do." And she did not know me.
Yeah.
She did not know me at all. I said, "Yeah, but we'll go outside." We went outside, and immediately, and my wife was with me. It's just like, Bobby, head accident. Her son had died in California, in Los Angeles, with a motorcycle accident, and his head was just pretty well mutilated.
Oh,
Oh wow.
that's terrible.
She needed that. Come to find out, she was hoping to come in touch with someone who could help give her closure on him.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And then next time we went down, she had us over for dinner for more reading. But that, Phil, that was probably one of the ones that was the most gut-wrenching. I mean, a suicide is never easy. Never.
Yeah.
It's like this group of people around here. It's never easy, but you focus and you're giving people closure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
In fact, I just had another suicide not related with a young lady. She was 21, and her brother took his own life about 3-4, right before COVID, 4 years ago, and she couldn't handle it anymore. Those parents lost both their children to suicide.
That's
awful.
horrible.
Yeah. But the parents see me for closure with, specifics.
Yeah.
But again, guys, too, it's up to spirit,
True.
not us.
Yeah.
If they don't want to talk, we can't make them. It's like going on a ghost hunt. You can't make them.
Yep.
Taking this a little bit different way, what's the most like funniest, outrageous type of thing that's ever happened when we're in?
Sure, happened in Mansfield. Not when we were there together, but a couple years ago. A lady, a real sweetheart. I was at her house, and talking, and her husband, just one-on-one, again, the face-to-face readings. And I'm going to stand up here. I kept doing this, pulling my underwear out. And I kept looking at her, and I said, her husband came through, and I said, the underwear said, "Are you wearing his underwear?" And she said, "Yes." That's how she feels close to him. She was wearing his drawers that day.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
That's funny. Yeah.
Now that is confirmation about right there. Wow.
Well, Mikey, I got another one for you too, and it's funny but sad. A gentleman near Youngstown. His wife was gone 6 months, and I picked up on her name, and I kept doing this. Okay, and here's where I had to be super careful. This is why I talk about experience. It was a gallery. There were 20-some people. He was right here on my left, and I said her name, and I kept doing this. And he was crying, and I said, she had cancer that went quick, and I kept doing this. I said, "You're wearing her. I said, "Do you have something on of hers?" He had her bra on.
Oh, wow, man.
That's why I kept doing this. This is where he's crying. He was in his early 50s, very distraught, group of people who knew each other loosely. And I have to say this. He needed that. But, yeah.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's
no. But there's all kinds of things. That from... oh God, I don't know. I mean, a lot of this, guys, is drinking stories too. Phil, that's another bottle.
Oh man. Now I got a random question for you too. Whenever you're doing one of your sessions, does a customer be like, "Oh my God, this is not what the last person said, like the last medium said"? So you're like, "All right, well, this is how it really is," kind of thing.
I don't say that. I say, "Well, this is what I'm being told now."
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And I have clients, and there's several readers all over, and we connect, talk, whatever. And it's interesting. You do an event or a fair, and people go to 4 or 5 different readers and get different messages or the same. But again, it's what spirit wants us to know. What the interesting part comes in is where they come back and they were able to validate what each person said is meaning something. And it's not where they in their mind, guys, are twisting it.
Yeah.
Manipulating information to make it fit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And 2, I could be reading for any of you today, and you're going to get XYZ person. 6 months from now, you're going to get someone new, and this one ain't going to show up.
Right.
Yeah.
Not up to us.
Now, have you ever came across a fellow colleague who was just a complete charlatan full of shit?
Yeah. Karma comes around and they out themselves. Should we do that? Can we? Yeah. Should we? No. Because it looks like, okay, we're, that can go all kinds of sideways, Sean. Yeah. But there are people who give us a bad name.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at it. And seriously, I was joking about how my wife, we're very, very cautious because, she's wearing a wire and I have an earpiece and she's talking to somebody. That happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. This just happened this year. A very good client of mine who I've read for about 8-9 years. Nice lady. This is the important part. New job, promotion, guy, taking the next step, getting engaged. One night she called me crying. I say, what's wrong? She somehow got involved with the reader on the other end of the country for $7,500.
Oh, jeez.
Who you'll never be happy or successful in work, career, or in love. You'll never find anyone. And I said, hold it right there. I said, first of all, why didn't you call me? Second of all, you got the job, you got the promotion, you got the guy, you're engaged in getting married. So where is this correct?
Yeah.
And that other reader told this person, if you contact another psychic or reader, you will be cursed.
Oh,
Jeez.
True story, guys.
That's cornering the market there.
Yeah.
it almost sounds like a
Wow.
competitive kind of nature
Well,
to them too.
Guys, they play on people's fears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, is it right? God, no.
Oh, heck no, man.
And this woman, and I told her, I said, you know, we've known each other for years. We've never done anything like that. I've let you owe me money because you couldn't afford a reading. I said, and now you paid $7,500 for this?
Oh.
I almost said, why don't you give it to me? It's that sort of nonsense.
In the wrong field. Shit, I'll 75.
Yeah, man. Really. To this day, she's fine.
Good.
Yeah.
She's good. And again, that's what gives us a bad name, guys.
Yeah.
All of that stuff, you know, the hooks, whatever.
Right.
You know, Houdini first started out, I think, to prove mediums wrong, I think.
Yeah.
Did he? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard that
yeah.
before too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard podcasts of, but we have a buddy who he has varying guests on there, and he had a psychic debunker team or whatever.
Yeah.
And they have gone to some of those events, and I mean they go hardcore. I mean they'll make a Facebook profile 3 years in advance to an event, and have all this information strategically put on there, and then go to the event and see if, you know, the psychic picks up on, you know, false stuff.
Damn.
Oh, you mean like they try to stump him? See,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Good point, Mikey. Real good point. Any of you go to a shop or you see me anywhere, I never know who I'm reading till I get there.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's a list when I go to a shop. There's no last names
Yeah.
because here's the list just so I know order and timing.
Yeah.
Oh, because right away there you are. Oh, you're scrolling through this or that. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's for that reason, Mikey.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean they had I think he had 2 guests. They were on the same team, and I mean they are hardcore about it.
Yeah.
It was really, really wild.
Well, and you guys may have been with me in Newcastle. Well, I think it was June. I think. Don't hold me to that. Too, where I was in the chapel. Okay.
Yeah.
I had guests on the far left and the far right.
Mhm.
Okay. And about halfway through, the same messages started coming through for this one and this one.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I looked and I heard the same. And I did one of those. I was standing in the aisle. I said, you guys are related. And they said, yeah. I said, why aren't you sitting together? To see what you'd pick up. I said, we're done.
Wow.
Wow.
And I would not read them the rest of the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
and I told him afterwards, you wasted my time that I could have been spending on other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it happens, Mikey. It happens.
Yeah. And I think a lot of those conventions too. I mean, it's a lot of random people coming in. It's not like there's a set list either. Like you know, at HillCon or any of those ones.
Yeah. And that's why you don't look at the list or things like that or whatever. You know, and I'm sure people give us fake names. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, shoot, the name you have right now is not my real name.
No.
For security purposes, on that Facebook page, you'll never see my wife or anything personal.
Yeah.
You know, people show up where we live or whatever. You'll never see that too.
Yeah.
It's for security. Does that affect things? No.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Hey.
That's even like when we have business cards and that, and I used to put my phone number on there. I don't do that anymore. I have to put my email on there because you get some weirdos hitting you up. You know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I hear you, but that's my communication now. Am I selective?
Mhm.
Oh yeah. And then,
You
you
have
know,
to be.
to to your point, Sean, too, you get a lot of calls, not a lot, but now and then, of just crying, oh, I need a reading from you now. Well, no. You know? Yeah.
Have you ever had to do like emergency readings, like just out of the blue, like, you know, if that makes any sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A year ago.
Oh.
Yeah. It was involving a young lady who was murdered.
Oh.
Oh, geez.
The mother called me, and I was able to give very specifics about like the chin. But I don't know if she may be watching. I don't know.
No,
But yes, she was gone, and we knew it.
Oh man.
Yeah. And then a day or two later, they did find her body very similar to the way it was described. And I probably will not be doing any more police work because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. You get all experiences in two guys, but you also get the ones where, hey, the other day I had some guy holding his leg.
Oh.
I said, who had something cut off or amputated? The leg was sore, missing, or whatever. And I said, didn't like it, heaved the wooden leg. Here it was grandpa who didn't like the wooden leg, was throwing it at people before he died.
Oh, geez.
Well, now he's holding it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Christ. And I'm
But
sure
there's all kinds of stories. It never ends.
Right.
You know, it never ends.
Yeah, and definitely takes a toll. Now, do you ever, you know, take vacations from it and go and just travel without, you know, tuning in, I guess?
Try to.
Yeah.
Try to. New Orleans is very hard. We like it down there, but it's hard. I go down there to work. I don't know if you gentlemen ever heard of the Myrtles Plantation.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Phil, look it up. It's great. We've been there twice. Yeah. And I'm working again at a shop down there in March. Going down, we're going to visit the Myrtles again. There, Las Vegas, this was probably the quietest time I had out there. We pick out on that. I try to take a vacation. Yeah. One thing I don't do, guys, to your point, Mike, a vacation, I won't do it when I drink. I won't. Too many times, I know too many readers, and I'm sure you guys do too, who are on the influence of something.
Yeah.
You know, but do I try and take the break? Yeah. A lot of times people don't want you to. They get kind of belligerent when I can't. Look, this is my time off or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. So do I.
Yeah. No, I get that too. I'm pretty much always on call at work, so
Yeah.
it's nonstop on vacation. Oh, you know,
Yeah.
what's this inventory? What's this? And
Yeah, it is
it's
too.
rough.
But again, like at house parties or whatever, you know, there's usually wine or whatever. And I never drink. Never. Because they're quick to judge it. And I get it. You know, it's a liquor talking or whatever. Because God knows what they have floating around there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, liquor's calling the shots.
Yeah,
I'm
or
sure
other
in-
stuff. Like,
In
or
Las
other
Vegas,
stuff.
the auras out there are probably crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We were there in July this time too. You could smell the weed all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you inhale and there you go. But no, it's all over too. But you pick up on spirits there too. I do try and turn it off. It's hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hard. You know.
Now, have you ever mentored like maybe somebody who developed psychic abilities and didn't understand how to control them?
Yes. I used to do it a lot more, Mikey. I don't do it now just because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a control thing. Here's the thing too. 90% of the time, it's because they're so excited. Look what I can do. Okay. A, don't show off. No grandstanding. B, you got to control it. And again, way back at the beginning, we talked about protection. You know, you don't open that door and without knowing how to control it too. But I do mentor things like that. You know, and everybody has different levels, gentlemen.
Yeah.
You know, I'm lucky enough to see, hear, feel, smell. Some people may only see, some can feel. You may desperately want to see grandma, but you may never. But you sure as heck dream of her. Well, you're still getting your messages.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. The rules are there aren't any.
Yeah. Yep. It's not an exact science for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I do enjoy though, Mike, to your point, workshops. You know, but I like to do them in person. I don't like Zoom workshops or things like that too, because if I'm in a big room and say we're doing like how to see auras, okay, me seeing them, I can tell who's getting it and who isn't.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm sure now, do you guys do workshops on like hunting techniques, tools, how to use this, that, or the other thing?
I mean, we have public investigations where we
Right.
go over what the different devices are,
Or if
and,
we've
what they
maybe
do.
spoke at an event or something like that, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, too. Now, what's your favorite device to use?
Mine's a
Phil's thinking, so I got to change this. What is your favorite device to use while ghost hunting?
Well, I did get I got a digital recorder in, so I'm excited to check that out. Finally got one after like forever. And I actually do like the S box because I want to get really more into doing like, you know, the Estes methods because I think I suck at them. I really do, but I like doing it. It's fun. It's kind of funny too because I, you know, said certain things like radio bleed and it kind of
he calls out the radio bleed. He doesn't try to,
I said Western
weed
Financial one night real loud because it was the clearest thing I've ever heard. You know, but I like it. I can see why Mike likes using it too. But I my digital voice recorder I got off of Ghostware Pro. I think it's $31 and it works so well and just you know. Moving all the files from that thing to my computer takes zero effort, and I love it.
You know where we got to get you guys in all seriousness? There's a place in Youngstown. I don't know if I can say the name or not. It's an old, very old ethnic club that is haunted as all get out.
Damn.
Nice.
I am there. I think what I'll do is I'll send you the name when we're done. I'm doing a very big event there again in October. I do one-on-one readings. It is from the 1840s.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And it is some of the photos that have gone on there up in the kitchen area. I've talked to the cooks, and I actually have a video. You know how they have the pots and pans hanging like on the rack?
Yeah.
They're moving.
Oh, wow.
And that's in Youngstown.
Yeah. Yeah.
So talking about that, when are you going to investigate with us, Greg?
Well, whenever. I am working on next year's calendar, gentlemen. You guys go all over or what?
Mostly Tri-State, New York, Indiana, Pennsylvania.
No, and I'm serious. I'm working on next year's calendar. If you know where you're going to be, I mean, we've all done, you know, the same ones in common, but to do someplace different, where we can find a date and just show up because Sean, we were in Conneaut. Conneaut, the rest of us were Mansfield, Hillview, whatever. But no, I am open to it. By all means, I enjoy it. And just for the record, I don't do research or any of that stuff, you know, and what can I find? I prefer you say, here's the address, you know, we're going to meet here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
I welcome that too. Or even I'm not that familiar with Pittsburgh anymore. I'm really not.
Well, there's not really a lot. I mean, outside of house cases, Pittsburgh's.
Yeah, we were just
there's a lot of haunted locations. It's just unfortunately they're not really open for
you know,
we were just trying to find something recently, and we did find something, but it was a struggle to find something.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, I'm gonna send you this right now. Okay. Let me see here. This is in Youngstown.
Okay.
Hi, Gene.
Oh, I can't even smell right. Smell right.
You can't even smell right.
I can't do allergies.
He's out here mating and can't smell right.
Out of my mating. This is really interesting. If you look it up, even like on Facebook, I'm just not saying it because I don't know how open they are to me saying it, guys. I just sent it. There's even a lot of imagery like on the floor upstairs in the apartment and stuff like that.
Okay.
They're on Facebook, and if you see, you go there, you're going to see my event coming up in October, the end of, I want to say the 23rd.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. But that's good too. But anywhere you guys want, let me know. Like I said, next year. This year, good problem. Thank God, I'm almost fully booked.
Okay. There you go.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. but I do enjoy what I do, and we all have experiences too. You know, one thing happened last night, at a house party. I said, "What's going on with the two birthdays? The two birthdays." Lady burst out in tears. That's what she needed to hear. That was what she asked. Her and her husband shared the same birthday, and he died 6 months ago.
Oh,
So,
damn.
yeah. So it is rewarding, but also difficult at the same time when you have those hard cases too.
yeah, Mike, that's really good. Yeah, it is. But I'm learning more to be more selective, like on what I do. One thing I do, and you boys don't know this, I read horses. Equine. All through the Newcastle, Pittsburgh area. I don't do a lot with other animals. Just cause. But horses, I'll get right in the stable with them, and they just, for some reason, open up. I know it's weird, but I enjoy it. Yeah, really. Yeah. That's how they're hung. But yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I do enjoy that there as well. I also, like I said, guys, too, I don't know where you guys are in terms of any charity work. And that's something we can talk about later.
Yeah.
We've done some stuff.
We'd
be up and do it for sure.
Publix and stuff like that. So yeah,
we did raise some money for Greenville Manor for autism and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that's one place I always wanted to go, and every time I wanted to, got in my way.
Yeah, Greenville was awesome.
Yeah. We were there probably what four times maybe.
Really?
We were supposed to start doing Publix for them right when they ended up selling. So
Oh really? Well, Marcus and I, what was it, in July? I forget, we were at Hillview. That was the first time he and I met face to face.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's a hoot.
He was just
he brings the energy.
Yeah. No, and again, MadCon. That's only an hour from me.
Yeah.
Just can never get there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's like hard to really, juggle every single thing. I'm sure
it is.
Yeah.
It is. And unfortunately, you have to say no to certain people. You can't do it.
Speaking of MadCon. Speaking of MadCon, here goes Goose.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. God, I haven't seen him for a while there too. But guys know too. But teaching, like I said, the workshops, I am lucky. My family was extremely supportive of me. You do it the right way. I don't do anything dark or whatever, and I make it very clear, especially this season. For anything, if you want anything dark or whatever to come through, you're in the wrong place.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
So where can people find you to?
Sure. On Facebook at Gregory Nicholas. Okay, that is the easiest way. Message me for any phone work or video work, guys. Right now, I am booking out about 5 weeks for that too, just because my parties are so big. Gregory Nicholas there. I have next week. I am in Youngstown on Wednesday. I'm there. I'm in Youngstown on Wednesday. Next Friday, the 13th, I'm in Buffalo.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
All day, all evening. Yeah.
Now, do you keep a schedule for the public events available anywhere for people?
I don't. I post them about 5 to 10 days beforehand because things are so fluid. Ever since COVID, Mikey, things get canceled.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
I have if someone were to message me, like, where are you going to be maybe third week in November? I know. I'll let them know. But see, I don't set my own appointments.
Yeah.
For like the shops, they have to visit the shop to make the time.
Okay.
Now, when's the next time you're going to be in Vermont? Because that's like in our area.
I am there on October. Well, I'm going to Struthers next Wednesday. Near Poland. Okay.
Oh, Struthers. Okay. Actually, that's actually where my aunt was born. Struthers.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. I'm there next Wednesday. I'm in Valant at the shop on Thursday, October 26th.
Okay, because that's right by our camp. That's like
your Slippery Rock.
Yeah, Slippery Rock.
Yeah, I'm there. I just did their Witches Walk.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh no, great! A very family friendly event. Mom, dad, everybody dressed up. I go to Valant.
I had a couple friends that went to that event.
Yeah. No, it's good. But I go to Valant. I'm of course Haunted Hillview. I'm there. Struthers. I go to another shop in Youngstown as well. That one club, Sean, I sent you to. That's something you may want to get on the list. And if you're interested, let me know because they're kind of protective of who they let in. Okay. And it's very, the history there is just, it'll make the hair on your neck stand up.
I like it.
So there too, but I'm always interested too, gentlemen, in the Pittsburgh area. Right now, I do a lot of shops. In fact, in 10 days, I'm in Monroeville.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at a house party, but I don't have any shops there, to read at yet.
Yeah.
You go read at your work, Mikey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much an oil company will welcome that, but
Oh, really? You know where is interesting, speaking of that, and in 100% sincerity, some of the veterans organizations.
Yeah.
They invite me in just very quietly. They ask me not to publicize or whatever, which I get, and I have to respect it too, for some of their colleagues who are gone.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. That's it too. But no, by all means, gentlemen, keep me in mind for whatever.
Definitely.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Awesome. We definitely will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to plug, Greg?
My book is out there, Old World Psychic. Go get me one, please. Old World Psychic Medium. My wife's going to hand me one. Is out there. Saturday, October 28th, Haunted Hillview Manor. Okay. I'm doing readings during the day. Thank you. I'm doing readings during the day, a gallery, and ghost hunt at night. Here is my book, gentlemen.
Oh,
awesome.
Okay, awesome.
Old World Psychic Medium. This is the village in Italy where it all started. I insisted this. I'm not a writer. Okay, I'm not a writer. I can write a check. The author approached me about 3 years ago and wanted to do it. It took some talking, but yeah, she wrote it. This is the village in Italy where it all started. And if you remember at the beginning, I said St. Benedict. Okay, that's their monastery. My family had a very strong devotion.
Oh, well.
Okay.
So that's it there too. Haunted Hillview, 28th of October, big event there as well. Valant, the 26th.
6th.
Yeah, I'm there as well. And then after that, it kind of tapers down with the events. I do more of the private parties till next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and of course, you hear any place, please, guys, let me know.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Gregory Nicholas on Facebook, you'll see my face. I'll get to you when I can. One thing too, for me to come to you for a private reading, I'm unable to do it for one. Okay, I do have to have a minimum of 5 because my price is very, very, very low. It's a family promise. When Mother died 13 years ago, like I told you, I'm 4th generation. In front of me and my wife, she had arthritis. She shook that finger and said, "You overcharge, I'll haunt you." That's why it's as low, and so I have to set a minimum. I can't travel for one person for
no, it makes sense. Gas prices, I don't.
Oh yeah, man.
I mean, I would like to obviously hang out with you just as friends, but it would be cool also to do that sometime, maybe too.
You know what, Sean, and that's something we could do too, like Slippery Rock or wherever, just to sit around casually without others watching. Which, like I said, I really would, but I just don't know who's here.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
I've just had too many rough experiences, gentlemen.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but no, we can do that and read. Wherever.
Sweet.
Okay.
Just sit around. But yeah, if you have questions, please let me know. You guys all know how to get a hold of me.
For sure.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Thank you for coming on, Greg.
Hell
yeah. Thank you so much, Greg.
Thank you again. Yeah, hey, Phil. Yeah, hey.
I always do that with people. I always do it.
Yeah. Well, hey, I know how to do the Maloke.
Oh, there we go. I'm actually teaching my nephew how to do this, and I actually had him form this for a split second. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He'll be 4 in January.
Oh God, he's training him young.
Smart dude. Holy crap, is he a smart?
Mike is teaching his son this one right here.
That one right there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That one down.
No. like I said, Gregory Nicholas on Facebook. I post every time where I'm at. But no, by all means, gentlemen, would love to work with you.
For sure.
Have me on again if you want a topic. If you ever wanted to do like a mini quasi workshop on how to see the auras, we can do whatever. I try and be as accommodating as I can. One thing I do like, believe it or not, is cemeteries.
Oh, cemeteries are.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then too, once we're off camera, guys, if any of you have questions, please ask. Please. I really want to be an open book.
For sure.
Yeah, sounds good. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. So
where are you on the night of October?
Yeah, I don't have an evening off, guys. Thanksgiving night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good problem to have, and I'm very lucky. But yeah, Valant, Sean, in fact, you know what, too? That evening, if you're around that 26th, that Thursday, I'm done like at 6.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are going to be in the area or what, just to swing by, whatever, real quick.
Yeah, if you want to meet up for dinner or something. Or,
yeah, I mean, I am available. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
I mean, I'm old school, guys. Look, see?
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't use the phone.
No Outlook for Greg.
No. I see some social security numbers on there and some bank account numbers.
Yeah, really. Yeah, no. Yeah, keep that in mind. And yeah, no, I'd love to get together with you guys again and
cool.
see what have you. But no, I really, really thank you again. I appreciate the opportunity. And if anyone has any questions, please let me know.
Okay.
Absolutely, man.
Sounds good.
Thanks, all right, well, we're gonna sign off on here, but you can stick around for a minute. We'll meet you in the backstage.
All right, I'll be right here. Thanks.
Okay. Yep.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget, you can find us here, and here, and here. Don't forget, everybody needs a little bump in the night.